behind the scenes with future country rock blues kings and queens. Discover them first with Palm Mash TV. Palm Mash TV.
Well, hello there, it's Palm Mash TV time again. We're glad that you could join us for yet another episode. And we got a great one for you, and we'll get to that in just a moment. But first, don't forget to subscribe here on YouTube and click that bell, and you're always going to be notified on new interviews whenever they're available. And feel free to leave us a comment on the comment section. And also, if you're on Facebook, go to facebook.com/PalmMashTV, which is our official Facebook page, and feel free to like the page, comment everything you see, and send us an inbox. Love to hear from you there. And if you'd like to send us an email, it's palmmashtv, all one word, @gmail.com. And remember, you can use that not just if you're a band or solo artist and want to be on the show, but if you're just simply a fan, we'd love to hear from you in that same email address, and we'll get back to you. And all this will be repeated at the closing credits at the end of the show, so stay tuned for that. From Savannah, Georgia, we have Gary Swindell, and he's a gospel artist, and I think you're really going to enjoy this interview, and we'll get to that in just a second, but here's another quick word from Click Jam, so don't go away. We'll be right back.
We got history, got me feeling the nostalgia when you look at me, thinking about what could.
Okay, here we are with another interview, and from Savannah, Georgia, we have Gary Swindell. Thanks for joining us, Gary.
Thank you so much for having me, man.
Oh, no problem. And Gary is a gospel singer, and a really good one, too. And you'll get a chance to hear that in just a few minutes when we play a song. Well, tell us a little bit about how it all started for you as far as being an artist. I mean, everyone has their own story. Let's hear your story.
So, like you said, I'm from Savannah, Georgia. I'm from a pretty kind of religious background. However, my parents were doing stage shows my whole time growing up. Things from The Wiz to cabaret to so many different things. And so I had an eclectic background. My dad was an opera singer, gospel singer, jazz singer. So I really got my start from birth. And so I started in the church, but then he introduced me to like stage shows. So I started doing different plays and just things like that. Little Shop of Horrors, The Wiz, just things like that. And then when I got to high school, I was actually the first jazz singer at my high school. So for 4 years, I toured doing jazz. And so I have a pretty eclectic background. So my whole life, I've just been doing music, not even just one genre, but just music, period.
Mm. Well, that's quite a story there, Gary. Well, who are your, influences when you were growing up? I mean, I'm sure there were a few musicians that you looked up to. Why don't you share some of those?
Okay, so number one, he's deceased, but my dad. So my dad just passed away December 26th, this past day after Christmas. But my dad was probably my number one influence. But after that, there's an amazing gospel singer by the name of Fred Hammond. He is amazing and still is amazing. After that, I am a huge Prince fan. I am a Prince fan for days. I'm a Prince fan. I'm a Shaka Khan fan. I love her energy on stage. I just love how she commands the audience. And I'm a huge Beyonce fan. Like, I don't know how I ended up a part of the Hive, but I am a part of the Hive. I love Beyonce, but I'd probably say I'm a huge Prince fan to the most. Like, I love Prince all day.
Yeah, those are some pretty good ones. Like you mentioned, Beyonce. I mean, she's a legend in her own right. So,
yeah.
Well, why don't you tell everybody exactly how we can find you as far as your music and how they can reach you and contact you and so forth?
Okay, so first we have a website. It's just GarySwindellJr.com. And that's SWINDELL, 2 L's, Jr.com. You can find me on Facebook. You can find me at Gary Swindell Jr. You can find me on IG at Gary_Swindell. And then Twitter is Gary Swindell Jr. And also on YouTube is Gary Swindell Jr. So if you type in the name, it'll be easier to find me.
Okay. Are you on any of the streaming platforms like iTunes or Amazon or anything?
Yes. So this single Strong Enough is available on all platforms, iTunes, Spotify, SoundCloud, YouTube, everything. Any place you can find music, you'll be able to find Strong Enough.
Oh, okay. Well, everybody get out there and get Gary's music. I know he'd love you for that. And speaking of that, you just mentioned the song "Strong Enough." I mean, I'm sure it's self-explanatory, but could you tell us a little bit of a story behind that song?
Yeah, so in 2020, right before everything closed down in America because of the pandemic, I did a live recording. And so when we were getting ready for the live recording, one of my best friends named Antoine Smalls, who actually wrote the song, he sent me a voice memo. If you know anything about songwriters, usually we don't have all the songs together. We'll put like a voice memo in our phone and just kind of send it to each other. And so he sent it to me, no music or anything, just him singing it. And it directly spoke to me. And so I said, yo, we got to put this on the album. And so the song Strong Enough is just basically talking about how God has been strong for me in my life, you know, because the truth is all of us throughout this pandemic have had weak moments. And so the song is really saying it's okay to be weak. It's okay that, you know, we don't have it all together. You know, I think a lot of times life tries to make us feel like we should be the strongest in everything we do. We have to have things together. But the truth is we don't. And when we don't, he does, God does. And so I lean into his strength and he's strong for me. And so the song just basically talks about how strong he is and that nothing can come against us when he's strong for us.
Okay. Well, that's a good message there, Gary. And we'll be watching that in just a moment. But I think that's about all the time we have for right now, Gary. We'd love to have you back sometime if you ever want to have anything to plug for us.
Yo, I would love to come back. First of all, you've been amazing, Mr. Paul. And for anybody watching this, he's the dude. I love this guy. You're amazing.
Well, I appreciate that, Gary. You made my day, man. Okay, well, let's watch that video right now, Strong Enough by Gary Swindell, and we'll be right back.
You are strong enough, you stand alone. 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 And if God be for me, who can be against me? And if God be for me, no weapon formed against shall overtake me. You are strong enough. Everybody sing. You stand alone. When I'm weak, then you are strong. You're strong enough. You fight every battle. And you are El Shaddai. Great I am. You stand. No one compares to you. You are El Shaddai. Say this, and if God be for me, tell me who can stand against me. And if God be for me, that's right, no weapon formed, no weapon formed, no weapon formed. And you are higher, you're greater than them all. Say you are higher, say greater than. can be against? And if God for me, no weapon formed against shall overtake. No weapon formed against, you believe it, shall overtake.